After the European night, the Premier League is back on our screens, and Arsenal, who are obviously one of the biggest winners during the week, are back in the Premier League to make a push for the Premier League title. Manchester City, who are also 9 points behind Arsenal, are also back and are also going to do everything possible to close that gap between them and Arsenal with one game in hand. The top 5 race is also heating up, as we all heard during the week that England have been given an extra slot in the Champions League places, and the likes of Chelsea, Manchester United, Liverpool, and Aston Villa are all in contention for these positions. So join me as we discuss this weekend's games, what to expect, the stats, the analysis, and all the numbers behind this weekend's marvelous fixtures. Yes, so let's start with Arsenal playing at home to Bournemouth. Yes, after those 2 cup losses, notably coming against Southampton and Manchester City, Arsenal are coming back into the Premier League, especially with that win in the Champions League, are coming in with full confidence and trying to make a claim right now for the Premier League title. Yes, and then Bournemouth, on the other hand, having lost a game since January, where they lost against the same Arsenal team when they played at home by 3-2. Yes, so Bournemouth have been in decent form and having lost a Premier League game since January. Yes, so Arsenal know what they are coming up against. Arsenal will be hoping to get their star man and captain Bukayo Saka back into the setup, especially after losing the likes of Leandro Trossard and Odegaard during the midweek games. Yes, so with Arsenal, in their last 5 games, they've won 3 of these games and lost 2, with these losses both coming in the cup matches against Manchester City and Southampton. On the side of Bournemouth, they haven't lost a game, as I said, since January in the Premier League, and are currently on a 5-draw run in the Premier League. And now, with Arsenal's charge towards the Premier League, these are the remainder of the games remaining for Arsenal in the Premier League. Yes, first of all, they are coming up against Bournemouth. Secondly, City, Newcastle United, Fulham, West Ham, Burnley, and then finally, Crystal Palace. Yes, so with these games left, how many points do you think Arsenal are going to amass by the end of the season? And do you think Arsenal are going to win the Premier League? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Liverpool will be coming up against Fulham, yes. Arne Slot and his men will be coming up against the Londoners, yes, at the Anfield Stadium, yes. Recent performances indicate that top 5 is far from being secure for Arne Slot and his men, especially with that performance they put up against PSG in the Champions League with 0 shots on target. Yes, talking about disappointments, Liverpool have lost their last 3 games with a disappointing 8-1 aggregate scoreline, conceding 6 goals without reply since the return from the international break. Yes, so Liverpool are just being poor. They are getting worse and worse every single week. Yes, so Fulham also sits 5 points behind Liverpool and will be coming into this game with a lot of confidence, especially with how Liverpool are playing right now. Anfield, as we all know, has been a fortress for many years, but this season, Anfield has witnessed one of Liverpool's worst seasons, right? Even Liverpool playing at Anfield means nothing currently. Yes, so Fulham coming up against Liverpool at the Anfield, I feel with how Liverpool are playing, they are not going to be scared of the Anfield, right? Plus, in the last 2 games that these 2 teams have come up against each other, Liverpool has failed to beat Fulham. Yes, with one ending a draw and then one going on the side of Fulham. Now, with Liverpool, in their last 5 games, Liverpool have lost 3 games, drawn 1, and lost 1. On the side of Fulham as well, they've won 2, lost 2, and drawn 1. So, as I said earlier, with Fulham coming to Anfield and knowing very well that in their last 2 games, they've been a handful for Liverpool, will be coming to Anfield with full confidence. Now, Chelsea will be playing at the Stamford Bridge to Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. And with Chelsea, they need this win to revive their Premier League campaign, especially with the Champions League positions at stake. And also, Manchester City also need this win to keep that pressure on Arsenal for the Premier League title. Manchester City haven't really been in the best of form, but those statement wins against Liverpool and Arsenal in those cup matches shows you what Pep Guardiola and his men can do at any given moment. With Chelsea also being in very bad form, I think Manchester City coming into this game, knowing how important these 3 points are, with Chelsea also needing these 3 points for their Champions League position, makes this game a very interesting one to watch. On the side of Chelsea, they have only 1 win in their last 6 Premier League games with 2 draws and 3 losses. Chelsea haven't won a game at home since January, drawing 2 and losing 1. They are at risk of going 4 games played at home without a win since 2023. Manchester City trail 9 points with a game in hand and are looking to make ground on Arsenal. Now, with the head-to-heads, in Chelsea's last 5 games, they have lost 4 and won 1, which came against Portsville in the FA Cup quarter-final game. On the side of City, in their last 5 games, they've won 2, lost 2, and drawn 1. And now, between these two sides, in the last 5 games that they met, Chelsea haven't been able to win a single game, with Manchester City winning 4 and 1, ending in a draw. With City also being title contenders, these are the remainder of the games left for them in the Premier League. Yes, so City, after the Chelsea game, will be playing Arsenal, Burnley, Everton, Brentford, Bournemouth, and Aston Villa. So let me know your thoughts. How many points do you think Manchester City are going to amass out of all these games? And do you think Manchester City are going to surpass Arsenal to win the Premier League? Let me know your thoughts. Let's have a conversation in the comment section. After a 24-day wait, Manchester United are back in Premier League action and they look to firm their position in the top 5 positions for Champions League football. And this time around, they are coming up against their old foes, Leeds United. And yes, as we all know, Captain Magnifico Bruno Fernandes was named Player of the Month for March in the Premier League. Now, with the head-to-heads, in Manchester United's last 5 games, they've won 3, lost 1, and drawn 1. And on the side of Leeds United, they won 2, drawn 2, and lost 1. In the last 5 games that these two clubs met, Manchester United came up top in 2 games, with 3 ending in a draw. Yes, so with the top 5 positions for Champions League heating up, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Which teams are going to make it into the Champions League spot this season? Will Arsenal finally win a Premier League title for the first time in 22 years? Or Manchester City and Pep Guardiola are going to spoil their party? Let me know your thoughts. See you in the next one.